Friends, greetings. Today we have a lot of news from Europe. Central regions are experiencing abnormal snowfall and tropical rains. Let's start with Moldova. Moldova hit by natural disaster. 20 villages without power, roads blocked. Chisinau flooded. Due to heavy rains and strong winds, 20 villages in 7 districts in the south and center of the country have been left without electricity. Authorities continue to update information on the situation. Roads in the Străzeni, Simislia, Leova, and Ialoveni districts are blocked. In some areas, bodies of water are overflowing, flooding nearby territories. In the village of Romanovka in the Leova district, a dam at the reservoir burst, causing water to flow into a nearby lake. To prevent further damage and protect residents, 46 rescuers equipped with 13 motor pumps and 15 pieces of special equipment were dispatched to the scene. In total, 204 personnel and 76 units of equipment have been mobilized to mitigate the effects of the disaster. Heavy rainfall has also caused significant damage in Chisinau. Most of the capital's roads are flooded, greatly disrupting both private and public transportation. The torrents of water on the streets are so strong that they are literally knocking pedestrians off their feet. Residents are actively sharing photos and videos of the aftermath on social media. In the Buyukani sector, a lake has overflowed, flooding the park. According to the latest reports, trolleybus and bus services in Chisinau have been temporarily suspended to ensure the safety of passengers and drivers. The mayor has urged residents to stay home and avoid unnecessary travel. In the past 24 hours, employees of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the General Inspectorate for Emergency Situations have carried out more than 300 operations to address the aftermath of the downpours across the country. Firefighters have conducted 110 operations to pump water out of basements and homes. In 67 cases, they were called to remove trees felled by the wind. A total of 31 state roads and 21 local highways have been damaged. To prevent further flooding, large-scale water pumping is being carried out on the dams of lakes in the villages of Sărata Nouă and Celest in the Leova district. In the village of Porumbesti, local authorities, together with units of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, have built 2 protective dams, each more than 20 meters long. In the village of Dudnik, a dam in a flood-prone area has also been reinforced to minimize the risk to local residents. The situation in Romania has become particularly tragic. On Saturday night, a tragedy occurred. Floods in the Galați County claimed the lives of at least 5 people. Unfortunately, this is not all. The water continues to rise, and in some areas it has already reached 3 meters, destroying homes and flooding roads. Due to the floods, 13 road sections had to be closed. Travel has become dangerous, and drivers are advised to avoid these areas. The Prime Minister of Romania is set to personally visit the affected regions to assess the damage and discuss relief measures with local authorities. It is crucial to stabilize the situation as soon as possible and restore normal living conditions for the residents. The water level in the Gigea River has exceeded the danger level by 30 centimeters, leading to flooding of households in the village of Kudalbi. Additionally, the Sioux River has overflowed in the Peșe area, causing further damage and increasing the overall impact. In the Czech Republic, amid torrential rains, river water levels are rising, and the situation is becoming increasingly concerning. In the eastern part of the country, thousands of homes are already without electricity, and by Saturday evening, wind speeds are forecasted to reach up to 100 kilometers per hour. Many residents are preparing for the worst, and authorities in some cities are even discussing possible evacuations. In Brno, for example, one hospital located in a flood risk zone has already evacuated its patients to safe place. In Prague, it is expected that the water level in the Vltava River will peak during the night from Saturday to Sunday, rising by 60 to 80 centimeters. This is causing concern among many. The Prague Zoo, which was affected by floods in 2002 and 2013, has stated that it is prepared to evacuate animals if the situation worsens. According to its director, heavy rains could erode the soil, increasing the risk of tree falls. On Saturday morning, additional flood protection measures began being constructed in Prague to minimize potential damage. In Poland, especially in the southeastern city of Wrocław, authorities are also on high alert. It is expected that the amount of precipitation could reach 380 millimeters, an amount not seen in the history of observations. A crisis management team has been established, and all resources are focused on preventing the consequences of the disaster. The Polish Ministry of Defense has put troops on standby to assist local authorities with the floods if necessary. Polish authorities are urging citizens to stock up on supplies and prepare for possible power outages. Prime Minister Donald Tusk assures that there is no cause for panic, but reminds everyone to remain vigilant. Meanwhile, a massive snowstorm has hit the eastern Alps, affecting areas in Austria and Germany. City traffic has been paralyzed, with snowdrifts reaching nearly half a meter in height forming on the streets. The snowy conditions have already caused dozens of accidents on the roads. Authorities have urged residents to stay indoors, but heavy snowfall has also damaged the power grids. Entire neighborhoods have been left without electricity. In the Lambayeque region of northern Peru, large-scale wildfires continue to rage. Local volunteers and firefighters are actively working to extinguish the flames near the town of Inkawasi. Footage shows people trying to control the fire with their own efforts. The mayor of the town has reported that the fires have been ongoing for 4 days and has urged the government to send firefighting planes and additional assistance. The fires are intensifying due to strong winds and high temperatures in the region. According to the latest reports, at least 16 people have sought medical attention for smoke inhalation. Authorities warn that the fire could spread over a larger area due to the lack of rain and low humidity. Residents are advised to stay alert to the situation and prepare for possible evacuation. These are images from Argentina where smoke from wildfires in Bolivia has enveloped Buenos Aires. A gray cloud has covered the sky and settled over the city. Argentina's National Meteorological Service has confirmed that the smoke has spread not only across the capital, but also to 14 provinces in the country. The Ministry of Health has advised residents to limit their time outdoors, keep windows closed, and wear masks. Rescue workers report that the flames have not yet approached residential areas in Argentina, but the situation with the fires in Bolivia could change at any moment. According to Bolivia's Departmental Emergency Committee, there are 73 active fire hotspots in the country, covering more than 3 million hectares of forest. The fires have erupted in various regions of the country, and their intensity has significantly increased due to extreme heat and dry conditions. Extensive burning has already destroyed large areas of forest, leading to environmental degradation and loss of biodiversity. Local residents report severe impacts on agriculture and water resources. A massive flood has swept through northern Thailand, affecting thousands of residents and causing significant damage. Rescue teams from various agencies have promptly arrived to assist in the affected areas, where residents have been forced to leave their homes due to rapidly rising water levels. Some have reported waiting to work waist deep in water and noted that they have never witnessed such severe flooding before.
ออกไปแล้วนะคงจะหิวข้าวมากเลยน้องหมานะครับตอนนี้โอ้ยเป็นที่สงสารเนาะหิวข้าวมากเลยครับตอนนี้
The disaster has hit the provinces of Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai particularly hard. In Chiang Rai, 5 districts have been affected and 3 major bridges, the Mai Fa Luang, Hua Phai Meng Rai, and the bridge over the Kok River, have been closed due to severe flooding. Although water levels have begun to recede in some areas, such as Mae Sai district, many villagers continue to suffer from the flood. In some places, water levels reach up to 2 meters, and residents report food shortages. The flooding was caused by heavy rainfall brought on by Typhoon Yagi. This powerful storm, the strongest in Asia this year, has inundated approximately 9,000 households in Thailand, causing rivers to overflow and flooding settlements. The disaster has also led to tragic consequences. 4 people have died in Chiang Mai province, and 8, including several children, are missing. In neighboring Chiang Rai, hundreds of people have been isolated from the outside world. Local authorities have set up an emergency command center to assist the affected and search for the missing. Rescue services have advised residents to stay indoors and await help, as the water current is too strong for safe travel. Helicopters and military units have been deployed in rescue operations. The flooding has also severely impacted the tourism sector, with losses estimated at around $14 million. In response, the government has implemented emergency support measures for affected businesses, including suspending debt payments and offering low-interest loans. Thailand is currently in the midst of the rainy season, which continues until the end of October. During this period, further rises in water levels and possible landslides are expected in the northern regions of the country. Tropical storm Francine hit the southern regions of Louisiana, causing widespread destruction and leaving hundreds of thousands of people without electricity. On Thursday, the storm made landfall in the American state of Louisiana, intensifying to a Category 2 hurricane, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center. The storm struck Terrebonne Parish, located about 30 miles south-southwest of Morgan City, with Category 2 hurricane force winds, as announced in a warning posted on social media platform X. Louisiana authorities issued evacuation orders for residents across the state's coast. Schools and government offices were closed to ensure public safety. The maximum wind speed during the storm reached around 100 miles per hour, 155 kilometers per hour. After Hurricane Francine made landfall in Louisiana, hundreds of thousands of people were left without power. Flooding was reported in the New Orleans area on Thursday morning. As the storm moved inland, it weakened to a tropical storm accompanied by heavy rains and strong winds. The severe weather also spread to the states of Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Intense rainfall flooded the streets of New Orleans and the neighboring cities of Metairie and Kenner. The chief of police in Kenner stated that the city faced the most severe flooding since Hurricane Katrina. New Orleans authorities urged residents to avoid travel due to flood-related hazards. As of Thursday morning, approximately 400,000 homes and businesses in Louisiana remained without electricity. The preliminary damage estimate from Hurricane Francine is around $9 billion. This amount includes overall flood damage, power outages, and losses incurred by the oil industry. Due to the hurricane's passage through the Gulf of Mexico, numerous oil platforms were forced to halt operations during the storm, which is also included in the total $9 billion in losses. Fortunately, Hurricane Francine turned out to be less destructive than previous storms. For comparison, Hurricane Ida, which struck Louisiana in 2021, claimed the lives of 30 people and caused $18 billion in damage. Between 2019 and 2021, Louisiana experienced 8 tropical storms and hurricanes, including Delta, Laura, and Zeta. In Vietnam, the number of victims from Typhoon Yagi is rapidly increasing. According to the latest reports, 59 people have died and 82 are missing. Rescuers report that most deaths are related to floods and landslides caused by heavy rains. The typhoon struck Vietnam's northeastern coast over the weekend and soon weakened into a tropical depression. As a result, millions of households and businesses were left without electricity. Many areas were flooded, highways destroyed, and communication lines were disrupted. The wind uprooted thousands of trees, and metal structures were blown through the streets like toys. Economic activity in the affected regions has nearly come to a standstill. Tens of thousands of tourists are stranded at airports, with their flights indefinitely postponed. People left homeless are being placed in temporary shelters. Panic is growing among locals as they don't know how long the recovery will take or when they will be able to return to their homes. Meanwhile, meteorologists warn that heavy rains continue and new waves of floods and landslides may hit soon. In some areas, up to 500 millimeters of rainfall have been recorded in the past day, increasing the danger. That's all for today's news. Subscribe to our channel for the latest updates, and we'll see you in the next video.